Hello and welcome to TVR Racing 10. This is going to be my first video with commentary on over my race because I thought the other videos were a bit boring. So here we are at Brands Hatch. I've qualified in 5th in the ever trusty V12 Vantage. I've been thinking about changing it recently actually. It spins its wheels up a decent amount. And the livery on it's terrible, so but it's just loading up now. So what I've done is I've recorded the commentary after I finished the race. So just gotta wait for it to load and then we can jump into the race. Okay, I'm gonna jump into some warm-up laps. Well, you don't really get any laps, you get about half a lap. But on the medium tyre. So out on the track now, just driving along, getting ready for the race. You see 13 seconds, that bit of a moment there. That's the problem with the V12, it's very lively on the power. You have to be quite gentle with it. So yeah, see that's warm-up complete and I've not even done half of a lap, so warm-up is pretty useless, but I always like to get out there, you know, run the bearings in. So a qualifying time of 1:27.0, fastest is a 24.8, so a little bit of improvement to be there, but it is what it is, isn't it? So here we are getting ready to go. Everyone seems to have qualified. There is a lot of times where the people in the back just haven't bothered qualifying, but everyone has qualified today. And there it is, the ugly livery that I made, that I'm 100% going to change if I don't change the car anytime soon. 13 laps, Brands Hatch. I don't know how many cars actually. Here we go. Race has started. It's all behind a couple of Porsches here. The Porsche seems to be quite a popular choice. He goes a bit wide, so I'm able to get the his inside. Jesus, he's gone spinning out around this hairpin. Big moment there. Pretty sure most of the time around the exit of that corner the thing breaks into a slide. As the top three are just breaking away slightly, so I need to close the gap to them. Going a bit wide around this corner. I'll lose me a bit of time. Just the aim is to stick with these lads and get away from the lads behind, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems the opposite of that is happening. That guy goes really wide into the dirt. It's coming around this corner. You can really hammer the power in, and you can just soar over the curbs. You have to watch it. If you come too fast, you'll bounce the car too much, and it'll unsettle it. But coming into this corner, decent line. Constantly looking behind, making sure nobody's about to rear end me. So up to third already, which is pretty good for my standards. We have gained 2 positions to people binning it. You have to take this corner well. He's gone wide as well. That brings us up to second, which is good. Around this corner. Does not kick the back end out this lap, which is good. That is a best first sector in the session. That's good. Possibly a little bit wide there on the curb, but doesn't seem to have affected us. Coming around wide again on this corner, extremely wide, into the gravel. Completely ruined the momentum of the car. Back down to third. which is unfortunate. But coming around this bend, another best time for that split. So this lap is looking pretty good, even though I have binned it into the gravel once. People coming up behind, closing the gap. Just the objective is not to let the leaders break away, but they seem to be getting further and further. Not the quickest I've ever taken that corner, but it was alright. Coming around here now. Just trying to keep up with the lads in front, but they seem to be a lot quicker than me. That was my best lap of the session, but it was only my second lap, so it was a 2-second improvement almost with this hairpin again. Again, not kicking the tail out this time, which is very good. Keeping control of the vehicle. Tyre wear and fuel depletion is on, but it's not really going to have much of an effect this early on in the race. Seems this fella is quite close behind, less than a second. Watch out for him. My best split there. Coming into this corner, like I say, you can just soar over the curbs there and carry in a lot more speed than you think. So you have to watch this one though, because there isn't a curb on the other side to get onto, so you have to put a bit of speed off. This guy's very consistently 7/10 behind, but as he closes the gap down, so he's on my radar now, so he's getting closer in the Porsche. Another best lap, a 1:27, massive improvement. And the guy in the Porsche is right up our tail now, sniffing the exhaust fumes as he comes through the inside. A bit of contact, but he's through. Fernando Alonso seems to I'm quite a high level lobby as I completely send it up the inside. Now we're inside each other, ghosting, which is not ideal, but there we are. As Mr. Alonso comes up past on the inside again, we seem to be back behind the Formula 1 driver, supposedly. Nearly a full second off the pace from the last lap, but I have been battling. Going up the inside for a move, pushing him wide, so he pushes me back onto the grass. Quite some dirty moves going on right now. As I go into the back of him as the front wheels lock up, which is not good of me, so I kind of lay off for a minute. But front bumper damage has been sustained. Once again, not ideal, but is what it is. So coming around to finish off the 4th lap. Seem to have fallen behind the leaders now. They're getting ahead as Fernando Alonso goes into the dirt and gets a bit of a moment there, but it's okay. Mechanical damage is only set to light, so the bumper is now repaired. As coming to this corner, going really wide into the dirt, completely ruining momentum and allowing others to catch up. As we see, a Porsche has completely binned it to the point where he is pretty much out of the race at this point, let's be honest. No recovering from that, but it is to be expected with a Porsche, at least in my experience. As we get bumped from the Ferrari behind, sending the back end into a slide, but we have caught it. Going over that curb. So this Ferrari behind seems to be itching to gain the position, so we're going to have to hold him off for a minute. Coming into this corner. See, side by side there, the Porsche and the Ferrari. As I go around this bend. And onto the back straight, completing the 5th lap. We are back up into 3rd position, which is good. And so now we need to catch up with the leader. The leader seems to have shot off. He is out of reach for now. But we'll see what it comes to later on in the race. So we're about halfway now through the race. Not really been bothered by anyone. Quite spread out. As I go wide again on this corner into the gravel, surrendering my position. Not a great strategy there. I think possibly a better line could have been driven on there, but is what it is. That puts me 4 seconds off. So not great. Going wide again, kissing the gravel. Lap 6 is looking to be a bit of a stinker. So coming around this corner. Braking in for this one. We're doing well. Tyre wear is alright. For now on the medium tyres. And fuel is good. As 3rd place goes into the pits for an early stop, which might be an ideal strategy. Don't know. That seems pit early when everyone else comes in. You can storm and take the lead. So maybe some good thinking. Plus he only lost 1 position, so that's worked out quite well for our man in 4th. Going around this fateful corner, as we've made it round this time, and there is our old friend Fernando Alonso in the 911 RSR. We have caught back up to him, so I'm going to try and hunt him down. Braking into this corner, going over the curb, going wide again, slightly touching the gravel, but not enough to upset the car. Once again, very, very close to the edge of the track there. Just maximising the whole width of the track as 1st place goes into the pits, which is quite a move. So we're going to follow Fernando Alonso for another lap out. As the gap from the leader has gone from 22 seconds down to 8.5, which is looking good. It's looking more likely that there is a chance at the win, as Fernando Alonso goes very wide around that hairpin, but the back end kicks out on the Aston Martin, meaning not really much has been gained. If I had held the back end then, I possibly could have gone in for an overtake. Down to this infamous corner, as Fernando Alonso pulls one of my old tricks and goes flying into the gravel. That puts us up into 2nd place. We've left him to die. So now we're on to catch up the German in 1st, who's 8.5 seconds ahead. I don't know what car he's in, so we're going to have to try and catch up to find that out. Coming around these corners, possibly my favourite section of the track, missing the curb there, so that has slowed us down. Because the ideal line that I've figured out is to go over the curb, but do it very steady so you don't upset the car to go for the next corner. It's coming around here now. As we go in for the pit stop on the 8th lap, with a very quick, no tyres, no refuelling, as Fernando Alonso comes in behind us. We have lost the position to the fellow who pitted earlier. So that puts us down to 3rd place. Coming on to the 9th lap. So now 18 seconds behind the lead. And he's already pitted, so I'm going to have to drive quite quick and consistent if I want to catch up, which isn't really my thing. If you've noticed, we've seen the grass a few times today, so we're just going to have to try and keep it steady. It's coming down this straight now. 5 seconds behind Rigodon, if that's how you pronounce that. Coming into this corner, getting over the curbs. The ideal line there, which I figured. Missing the curb there again. It's coming down into this corner, where I have been rammed into the back of and binned off many a time on this track. Coming around the last corner. Very long right-hander. Fernando Alonso closing the gap from behind. He's getting closer. 10th lap. Not long to go now. Coming around this first hairpin. Getting it nice and turned in before getting on the power. Not sending the back end hanging out like I usually do. 20 seconds from the lead now, so he seems to be gaining away. So we're going to have to be on it. Coming down this straight again now. 7 seconds from the guy in front. So this isn't looking too good for our 1st place finish, but a podium finish is alright. So we'll see how it turns out. Hard on the brakes into here, over the curbs. But going not to upset the car. Turning in here. Just ride him. And curbs there. Just maximising the complete width of the track and beyond. Coming around onto the straight. As the gap comes down to the guy in front. 5 seconds. And there he is, we spot him. Going in for the overtake, so coming around this hairpin. Keeping it in second, so not to spin the wheels up. And there he is. So coming around the infamous corner in which we go wide. We have gone wide there a little bit, but not enough to send us into the gravel. As we right behind him now into the slipstream. Around here we're just outbraking him massively. Getting the overtake over and done with. And there we are. Bit of a bounce on the exit of that corner over the curb, which isn't ideal. That can upset the car, but we seem to have gotten away with it. Going into this corner, just keeping it smooth for now. As 1st place has managed to get 25 seconds ahead, near enough, which is just absolutely bonkers. Really good, consistent driving from the 1st place driver. Coming into the 1st corner now. Just trying to keep it consistent. Trying to keep away from everyone else as we go extremely wide on this corner, which will slow us down. Coming into this corner here, you just want to ride that curb. Just come into the infamous gravel corner. keeping it nice and tight on the apex this time, as making sure not to understeer into the gravel, as the left hand side tyres seem to be taking a beating, as it is a clockwise circuit. So getting over these curbs now. I've got it down at this point. I know the track well enough to just absent-mindedly go round. Into second down here, really quick through this corner. That might be the quickest I've done it this race. I was good through there. So come round the last corner, coming on to the final lap of today's race. 19 minutes in, this is the final lap. So how's this going to play out? We go extremely wide into the gravel on the first corner. Not a good way to start the final lap, which means our friend Fernando Alonso is going to be right up the arse of us. So coming around this hairpin for the last time, getting nice up on the curb as Fernando Alonso goes into the dirt. He's gone wide, which buys us time. But he's still right there. So it's not looking like a P1 finish, but if we can hold off Fernando Alonso, we'll be able to do a second place finish. So let's see how it pans out. Coming down this straight, he's consistently staying about half a second behind, just over. Coming into this corner, keeping it nice and tight on the apex. Coming over this curb, just keeping the car stuck to the road as much as possible, as first place has completed. Let's finish the race. Fernando Alonso is getting very close behind. Coming around this corner, was all right through there. Not long to hold him off now. Just need to get around this final corner up the straight and we'll have won. As Fernando Alonso bins it, goes into the dirt. He is in the wall, which puts us at a second place finish here at Brands Hatch. Quite the race, starting from 5th up to 2nd, which was Fernando Alonso. As I have run out of footage, so I'll just have to talk over some sort of screenshot here. But yeah, what a race. So second place, I think that is the first time I've ever come second place, because you know I'm kind of rubbish. So what a race. So thank you for watching the first video of commentary over my racing. I hope it provides a little bit more interest to just someone who is a bit suboptimal at Gran Turismo going around a track. And this has been me, so make sure to check out the TikTok and see you later. Bye.